Hey guys, just want to touch base with the parents, especially the parents that have more than one child. What do you guys do when there's a dispute? Do you intervene or do you allow them to figure things out? Me personally, I intervene. Yes, I do because we don't borrow time, y'all. So with that being said, I like to say they have possibly about an hour to figure it out. That's what my mind say, but my heart say they have minutes because I'm not gonna allow them to sit and not talk about their feelings, and I'm not gonna allow. I'm a firm believer. The longer you allow things to fester, the longer you going to say, you know what, I'm good, I don't even miss this person, I don't, then you start telling yourself the reasons why you're not talking, the reasons why you're not talking to this person, or the reasons why that your life without them is okay. We don't borrow time. Once again, I'm not going to allow them to not communicate respectfully about their feelings and their disagreement. We can agree to disagree all day long. But the thing about it is we agreeing to disagree, but we also are setting a platform, allow them to know that it's a safe place within your sibling, with if that makes sense. You know, I have four brothers. Two of them, rest in peace. My older brother, I remember he stopped talking to me for probably almost a year. It's probably something I said. I know it was something I said. Once again, I have a slick mouth. I'm not perfect, y'all. I'm trying to figure it out. That's it. That's it. That's all. Just trying to figure things out. But once again, we agreed to disagree. How I said things was absolutely wrong. What I said was absolutely correct, if that makes sense. My understanding makes sense. But the communication platform was never established for me and my siblings. Once again, it's back in the day. My parents, my mom, I would say, she didn't set that platform for communication for us. As we grew older, we were trying to figure it out. And sometimes a lot of men, they just shut down. They just don't even deal with it. And once again, I have four brothers. They just didn't deal with it. Whatever they disagree with, they just shut me out. And yeah, they just shut me out. Rude asses, they did. So my other older brother, we stopped talking. Let's rewind. He stopped talking to me for many years. And, it was to the point that one time he walked past me as if I wasn't even there. That ripped my heart from my core. Because how do you walk past your sibling? Same mom, same dad, same household. He always been my protector. How do you walk past me as if I'm not there? As if I'm don't even exist? That's what you do to strangers. Okay, fast forward. The love didn't stop. I was in therapy and he said, write him a letter, express your feelings. And that's exactly what I did. The weight was lifted like no other, y'all. It was lifted because I was able to speak my mind, not so much as speak my mind, but speak my feelings, share my feelings because I was hurting. My big brother went from being my best friend to him treating me as if I was a stranger, not acceptable. I wrote him a 7-page letter. It was so hard for me to put the letter together. Because how do you go from the same household to treating your sibling like a stranger? There was no hate in my heart for my brother. Still not. We not the best of siblings, but I am very content with where we are, if that makes sense. Because if I get a call today about my brother, I'm on the first thing smoking and to check on my brother. He's my big brother. The love is there, but the communication is not there, if that makes sense. When we see each other, that's my brother, The love is there. But what I am raising amongst our children is the communication platform. Agree to disagree, but y'all go put it on the table. Y'all go put it on the table. Especially we have these text messages. Texting, the worst communication ever, I say. Because texting can go, comprehension levels can go so many different ways. And you can text someone and never have to hear their response again. To me, that's like one-sided communication. If you're on the phone, you allowing that person to hear you out. You allowing yourself to hear that person out. I'm a firm believer. Pick up the phone. See them face to face. If you can't see them face to face, pick up the phone. Figure it out. But we on borrowed time. So allowing years and years to go by without talking to your sibling, not acceptable. Parents, don't allow that. We ain't doing that. Bring it to the table. Even as toddlers, we're gonna sit down with those toddler siblings, and we're gonna have them express themselves to their other sibling. We're gonna have them apologize to their sibling, because our young boys, now men, they don't have a clue of how to communicate, a lot of them, because they don't know how to express themselves, their emotions, because someone in their lives have shut them down. And if we continue to build this communication platform up for our young boys, our young men, we are breaking barriers, y'all, because we have to allow them to express themselves. That doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't mean they're wrong. But don't never close that communication platform for our young men. Young girls too. Young girls too. Absolutely. I'm not leaving our sisters out. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is our young men, including the one I birthed. Although the communication is there, have always been there, you know, feeling comfortable with speaking your mind respectfully should always be an option. Bring it to the table. All tables don't have to be with a rah, 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 rah. We ain't doing that, y'all. But if you need to, stand on the table. Get it out your system. Respectfully, though. Because you can't go from being your sibling protector and your sibling best friend in the same household to treating them like strangers. That's not what we're doing, y'all. I have been around siblings that have got into a big old heated argument. They wishing death on each other. What the world is going on here? But the platform of communicating have never been established. And it shows, because that's a problem. And it shows. They don't know how to express themselves. Only thing they know how to wish death on each other. Violent. So hostile. Bring it down a notch, because guess what? That sibling didn't hear anything you have shared. They don't respect you, because now you're talking to them like you don't have no sense. There's no respect. You don't have a right to be disrespectful to your sibling. If you decide to not deal with them, that's a pain in itself. I can't even imagine. Well, I did experience it, but it was so hurtful. So hurtful. Me and my brothers, we have some great memories. Great memories. So I can't even imagine not sharing those memories with my brothers. And even to this day, my younger brother, we jumped on the phone. We get to then. I used to slip and call him my sister. My older brother, I used to call him my sister. Like, girl, because we started building our own communication platform. We really truly did. And we still are. We still are. As we grow into adults, the communication level shifts, from having a wife, having a girlfriend, having someone you sharing a child with. And I remember I was speaking to my younger brother. He was preparing to get married. And I shared with him over the phone And I said, brother, I need for you to bring your best into this marriage because you're taking on many roles as far as being a second parent to her children. And her response were she was so angry at me because she shared I had no business telling him how to be a man in her home. I didn't think I said anything wrong, but how she heard it over the phone, I'm not a hostile person, especially not to my siblings. So how she heard it on the phone that I was pretty much trying to run her marriage, they wasn't even married. They wasn't even married. So that just goes to show you her comprehension level. Nothing to do with, I'm going to say it, nothing to do with me and my relationship with my brother. And once again, another brother. I have 4 brothers, y'all. And they love girls that they have chosen. Yeah, okay, enough about that. But I had approached him and I said, I didn't even know you were coming to visit. Had I known you were coming to visit, I would have cooked for you. You could have stayed at our house. That's all I said. It wasn't even loud. Let me share this with you. I'm not a hostile person. So when I approached him, he was at our niece's house. And then when I approached him, I said, what you doing here? That's all I said. We hugged. We took pictures. We laughed. That's my little brother. You know, this love of his life contacted me and shared, don't you ever speak to my man like that. I'm not getting off topic. I'm just sharing. When siblings, love, verse, whatever you want to call it, intervene in this sibling relationship. She contacted me and she shared that with me. I was more livid with her because how dare you? That's my brother. I didn't disrespect my brother. How dare you even think that I was being disrespectful? And long story short, he was so angry at me because I had no right to talk to her like that. I'm not saying you pick and choose. That's not what I'm asking. I don't. I can't love you like she can. So I would never have you pick and choose. Okay, you'll forever be my little brother. That's it. That's all. So, I just left it alone because at the end of the day, I still to this day, you should have told me you was coming because why you getting a hotel? Y'all could have stayed with me. I could have welcomed you guys into my home. Communication, that communication platform, that's it. But fast forward, if the parents don't establish those platforms, where they supposed to get them from? I know personally some siblings walking this earth don't even talk to their siblings. We on borrowed time, y'all. Call your sibling. Put it on the table. I wasn't born into a family that I have any sisters. So I was blessed with some sister friends, I call them. Because if you are a part of my life, you are now my sister. I have multiple sister friends. I really truly do. Love them dearly. And each one of them, they pour something different into my heart. Each one of them. And they know each other, but they don't hang out with each other, if that makes sense, because they're my sister friends. And I'm okay with that. We're not one big happy family. I'm a part of their family, each one of their family, if that makes sense. I couldn't even imagine us calling each other sister friends and deep down inside you're mad at me because something I said. Put it on the table. Put it on the table. I'm not perfect. That's not what I'm saying. I'm learning. But if you don't hold someone accountable for what they have said or something they have done, you should blame yourself for not talking to them because You're not even communicating with them. How are they supposed to know? One can speculate all day long. But put it on the table. We on borrowed time, y'all. Put it on the table. So it's just going back to allowing your siblings to communicate with you, allowing the children that you have birthed, setting a platform for them to communicate with each other. Because as they grow older, you no longer here. Who's going to refuel their heart when their parent is not there? Who is going to, I'm a firm believer. I tell my children all this all the time. We all we have. We all we have. As our mom was taking her last breath, me and my brother, we was not speaking. But at that time, I called him. I was loud. It's not about us. It's about our mother. And we will show up. I'm somebody's mama. I have a slick mouth, but respectfully. And guess what? He showed up because he understood. You don't have to respond, but you will show up. That's it. That's all. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care how your heart is hurting. Mine is too. That's how mom. You go show up. And we go deal with this later at a later date. Because we all trying to figure it out. It's a part of life. Buckle up, buckle up. Buckle up that seatbelt. It's a rocky road. But guess what? The biggest concern as a parent is making sure your children are okay. And especially if they have siblings, because it's like a balance. They balance each other out. My brothers, yeah, they balance me out. They do. And I like to think I balance them out. And the thing about it is, it comes with that strength of a parent. So when you are continue to raise your children, don't forget about that communication platform, because it goes a long way when they become young adults, because they go figure it out. And if you're able to intervene, there's no wrong and right way. Intervene respectfully, though. Respectfully. Clear your heart. Clear mind. Full hearts. That's it. That's all. Because you need to clear it. Clear your mind. Clear your thoughts. That's it. There's no wrong and right way. But always remember, please do it respectfully. Parents, we have to continue to find the tools to allow our children to communicate. We have to. Because I used to always say, the streets not raising mine. And when I mean that, when I say that, I don't want them to go out and try to figure things out from the street when they were teenagers. I'm still trying to figure out these streets. Years later, it's even worse. It's even worse, y'all. So what they are trying to figure out from the streets, what they hear on the internet is something different. But what they are gathering from the internet, allow them to bring it back to the table so you can process it and figure out the correct way, the right way, the wrong way, the balance. Balance. That's what I say. Because we on borrowed time. I keep saying this because so many people are passing away. So many people are we all leaving up out of here. I will say that. But leave out of here with no regrets. If that makes sense. Leave out of here with no regrets. Make peace with your loved ones. Bring it to the table. Especially if your sibling have kids. Because although me and my brother wasn't talking, my nieces and my nephew, those my babies. I'm not going to stop talking to them. I'm not going to stop showing up because Auntie Jeannie coming. You hear me? I don't care nothing about what your daddy talking about. They ugly self. No, my brother's handsome. You hear me? So it wasn't about the kids. It's never about the kids at all. But the platform, young adults, figure it out. Bring it to the table. Teenagers, bring it to the table. Toddlers, let them bring it to the table. They little bitty selves. They go disagree. But you have to allow them to know. We go squash this, and we about to squash it right now, okay? And when we done, we go cook together. We'll eat popsicles together. We about to figure it out, because what goes on in the house I'm a firm believer. It stays in the house. We not perfect, but we go figure it out. Yes, we are. We go figure it out together. Later.